we have a whole troop coming in, so let's give them a warm hand.
Woo! How are you? I'll come join you. Let's see what you... Oh, making a party. The wife, or you know, handler, hang out. Maybe eventually crink of the armor, like, ooh, that?
Hello, welcome to Do You Want to Be a Stormtrooper? The 501st Meet and Greet panel. Everything and anything, and probably more than you ever want to know about how us nerds get to look the way we do and do the kind of fun stuff we get to do. My name is Chris Andrews. I am the squad leader for the Korriban Squad of the Central Garrison of the 501st Legion, which is a mouthful, I understand. Let's start off with what the 501st Legion is. It's the premier preferred costuming organization for Lucasfilm. We do charity events, we do show premieres, we do anything to contribute to the community, to promote Star Wars, and to just be awesome nerds and have a good time. 1997, a guy named Alvin Johnson and his buddy Tom were going to a thing called Star Wars Celebration. It was kind of a new thing, and they were like, man, let's put together some Stormtrooper armor. So they got some plastic and molded some kits and had so much fun they decided to take some pictures, put them up on the internet, and decided to start a web page. And people saw it and went, hey, I've got a Star Wars costume. Can I put my photo up on your page? And within a year, 501st Legion was born. Jump 20 years forward, which is where we are now. The Legion is in 44 countries around the world, has an active membership of over 10,000, and is the largest costuming group in the world. We've been in the Guinness Book of World Records, 3-4 times now. And we get to do all kinds of fun, great, fantastic stuff. We do like children's hospital events, things that make us just weep under these buckets, just for the awesome bit of joy we get to bring these kids. It's just outstanding and sometimes overwhelming. We also get to meet some of the celebrities and some of the creative talent behind the movies and the cartoons and the comic books and the toys, and it's just an amazing, amazing experience. Now that big mouthful that I spouted out about who I am and what I do and all of that, goes back to the 501st and when they were all sending their photos in. There started to be such an immense number of people that they needed to start organizing. The garrisons are regional. We're we're Central Garrison, which covers Iowa, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, and Minnesota. And then there's garrisons all over the world. And sometimes garrisons like ours are so big that you need more remote local squads, which is our Korriban Squad. We also have subunits called detachments that cover the different costumes. Like the 1st Imperial Stormtrooper Division covers the Stormtrooper costumes. Clone Armor Detachment covers the clone costumes. Sith Lords, et cetera, Imperial Officer Corps. They'll get grumpy if I don't mention him. Then we have the Rebel Legion too, which is our sister organization. Alvin and his buddy Tom weren't real interested in doing the good guy costumes at first, and so they just decided to make the organization about the villains. But then there were enough people that were just, wanting to be a part of it, but we're in Jedi, we're in, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, X-Wing pilots, and so they decided, well, let's make another organization that works hand in hand, and the Rebel Legion was born. And they do all the same stuff, they work side by side in everything we do. How do we do it? That's probably the most commonly asked question, and there is no simple answer to that. It kind of depends on what your skill level is. Some people can make the clay forms and make back tables and do the molding, do fiberglass work, do metal work, do all that fantastic stuff, and that's awesome. It's not all of us though. A lot of us have to rely on those people, and we buy kits, or we buy pieces, or we buy parts, or we know awesome seamstresses that can make amazing screen accurate costumes. That's one of the other things that's really amazing about our organization is the networking. Is that if we don't have a talent or a skill or a resource, all you do is you go to your detachment and go, hey, here's what I'm capable of doing, but here's what I need. And you've got people all over the world literally going, here are your options, here's the costs, here's what's available to you. And maybe we should go around and talk about the costumes. You want to?
Sure. So I'm what the Legion calls an Imperial Line Officer, which is sometimes, depending on what lighting you're in, green or grayish looking Imperial officers. Myself, I'm kind of based off of Admiral Piet in Empire Strikes Back. And Chris was talking about different people, different members of the Legion who have different skills. For example, my code cylinders here, I don't know how to make code cylinders, but there is a guy in Italy who makes these. And so I hooked up with him on the Imperial Officers forums. Like he was talking about, there's different detachments for each kind of like grouping of costumes. So if a Stormtrooper is like, hey, what is the best kind of helmet, to buy, and where's like a good place? Because if you go on something like eBay, maybe it'll be good quality, maybe it won't. But we can rely on the experience of people who have done that, who have made that before. Oh, that guy is good, he makes great stuff. Stay away from the other guy. And I mean, there are definitely times where you end up with something that's not quite how you want, and you learn and you tell people, and that's coffee. But yeah, so I had gone on my officers' forums, and I'm like, where can I get these code cylinders? And they're like, well, Giano in Italy makes great ones for a great price. And I talked to him and ordered some code cylinders. And there's a girl who makes belts and the rank squares, however you'll want it. There's a girl named Sewing Jenny who, makes hats. She's the best hat maker. I don't sew and I don't have great crafting skills. But with the help of the officers, that have made it before, I knew, what to do and how to get it. And spent $200 on my leather boots, and here I am today.
Never skimp on the boots.
No, boots. Would a Jedi of the Rebel
Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm a member of the Rebel Legion. I was officially approved last July, and I got into this because my husband, who's the Reverend here, said, hey, if you want to get married, we're going to be going to conventions. We would like to do that 2 weeks after our honeymoon. And I said, that's fine, but I'm not wearing a helmet. And so when we looked at all the options, I also decided I wasn't going to wear spandex, so that's where the Jedi outfit came from. And so I'm one of the few, although you're Rebel Legion right now. Yeah. So we basically had a friend who was really into costuming and a great seamstress, and we were able to buy an old costume of hers. She's like, oh, that old rag, you can just, yeah. Because as you do this, you get better at it. And as you get better, you want to explore more things. So we've started learning about how to do some of this on our own. We're not quite there, but we're getting closer. And so that's me.
Yeah. Really? Like I can see that. Okay, first thing they never tell you, you can't see anything in these helmets. And if they tell you they can see, then they're probably a Mandalorian who has a big slit down the front, like Boba Fett, and Boba Fett can see a little bit better. But the rest of us, little kids run up to us, we don't see those. So I got in this because I wanted to have a lightsaber. Well, I had a lightsaber and I had to have an excuse to have a lightsaber. So that's what I got for. And I bought one for the wife, so she's like, I could be a Jedi. So I was able to buy her even more lightsabers. This is how you do it. You can con them into, yes, I had to get this for you, dear. You really need a blue lightsaber this time. And as we said, I didn't make the lightsaber. There's a bunch of companies that make them, and you kind of go and you can go to conventions like this one, and sometimes they show up, which is why, this is a great thing in Cedar Rapids. It didn't cost a lot to come in. You get to look at a lot of different people and get ideas and say, hey, there's no way I could make that, but I could buy something like that. And now you can find out how much it costs. So that really helps. And then for a lot of these, you find benefits and disadvantages. Most of the Stormtroopers, they can't sit down. That becomes very important when you're on your feet for hours. Jedis, they can sit down. So my wife's like, I'm definitely going to be a Jedi. These things are very important to think about. So, and a lot of this is fun. You can go cheap on a lot of this if you want to, or for the 501st, they have very stringent standards. And it's one of those that I found that here recently, it's not as bad as people make it seem, because they want you to be a member.
Right, that's the key.
The key.
Our standards are strict, but we're very willing and able and wanting to help you get them, get there.
So we haven't had many recently, but they have armor parties where everyone brings their stuff over and, they all cut the patterns out together and kind of look at it. And we just had last week, someone's like, my ankle piece isn't working right, or shin piece isn't working right on my armor. And 3 or 4 people are like, oh, here's what I suggest you do. We have a Facebook group that my wife hates because it goes off at all hours of the night. And she's like, turn your phone off. I'm trying to sleep. So, but I mean, there's, someone's at 10:30 at night, I can't get this piece of armor to work, and some person would still be awake and answer that, much to my wife's disagreement on that. But anyway, so I mean, it's a very big group effort, but the other thing to remember is it is all volunteer. So there's not like a 501st headquarters you can go to. For all of us here, we had to organize this amongst ourselves. And a lot of that's our squad leaders, Andrew over there and Candyman behind us, who helped really make these things happen and set this stuff up. And that's when you realize, for all the things we do, it's all done because we volunteer our time. So that's just another added benefit of this. Who's volunteering?